All right, gentlemen, I just got this handed to me. A hit-and-run felony at Ray's Cafe, 208 North Los Angeles. Got a patrolman on site. The coroner's on his way. Get down there, see if you can find any witnesses who can put a make on the car. Not now. I got paperwork coming out of my ass.
I'm thinking of moving up to a 45.
That's the ID.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Looks like the DA is going to press charges. And Rodriguez might do time.
I'll speak to the DA. She suffered enough.
Detectives, over here.
Cole Phelps, traffic. What have we got?
Think as a white male named Lester Patterson walked out of the bar and into the street. Car hit over there, and he ended up here, dead on impact by the look of it.
Have you canvassed the area?
The only one with anything useful to contribute is the young lady over there. She lives above the bar. Name is Shannon Perry. No, it's not a stage name. 24 years old, she left Kansas to follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Is that so?
We'll take a formal statement later. Right now, we're going to take a look around. Phelps? Landed on his face and ended up here. The car must have struck him from behind. Patterson has life insurance. What have you got on the victim?
From all reports, he was intoxicated at the time of the accident. I'll know how intoxicated once I've done the autopsy. Looking him over now, I'd say he died on impact.
What about the chest wound? Isn't that inconsistent?
Very common in auto injuries. Look for a car with a prominent hood ornament. Those things are killers.
Body traveled a good 20 feet.
Careful where you're stepping, Phelps. I don't come down to the station house and tap dance on your desk.
This blood is a long way from the body. Car must have been going like a bat out of hell. So the driver managed to brake before the impact.
She's all yours, Detective.
We can notify next of kin. A knife covered in blood.
Could be a steak knife. This is a hit-and-run case, Phelps. Anyone could have thrown away a kitchen knife.
In any case, we'll want tech services to scrub the alleyway before they bag the knife. I'll take the bartender. You work the rest of the room.
Courtney, come in. Have a seat.
Thanks, Doctor.
How are you finding working at the clinic?
It's, fine.
Are you sure?
Can I be honest with you, Doctor?
I would hope so, Courtney.
I was hoping that the therapy would be more beneficial.
Treatment can, unfortunately, be very long-term.
So many of the patients here are addicts, Doctor.
Many of them have been for years, Courtney. In the past, these people were condemned to sanatoriums. If we can reveal the root of the problem, then we have a chance to help them.
And until then, they stay sedated?
Do I detect a hint of reproach, Courtney?
I was expecting more, Doctor. I'm sorry. I don't mean to criticize.
Part of being a physician, Courtney, is learning to be patient.
How is it possible to keep so many of them on their medications, Doctor? Many of their addictions are illegal.
Oh, many things in life are gray, Courtney. What may on the surface appear to be illegal is actually of benefit to society at large.
I'm Detective Phelps of the LAPD.
How can I help, Detective?
Your name would be a good start.
Dudley Lynch. Hired help. I run the place when the owner ain't around.
Where is the owner?
He stepped out. Somebody had to take Lorna, Mrs. Patterson, home.
What can you tell me about the accident?
Not a lot. It was busy in here, and all I heard was the impact.
So what was he doing outside? It's against licensing regulations to drink on the sidewalk.
Lester and Lorna were having a fight. The owner made him take it outside. It was pretty ugly.
Do you know the victim?
Yeah. Lester Patterson. He's a regular here, or he was.
Not one of your favorite customers?
Lester was special, but not my kind of special.
Was Lester drinking alone?
No. He came here with his wife. She didn't seem too interested in the booze, though.
Miss Perry?
Yes?
I'm Detective Phelps. This is my partner, Detective Bukowski. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I came to the window because I heard people arguing downstairs.
Then what happened?
I saw a car hit that poor man and knock him down the street.
What kind of car was it?
A dark red Lincoln Continental.
It's pretty dark, Miss Perry. You sure about the car?
Of course I'm sure. My Uncle Bernie has one just like it back in Topeka.
Tell me more about the argument you heard.
Well, there were two voices. A man and a woman, that's all.
Go on.
Then a third person, another man, got involved.
It's in your best interest to work with the LAPD, ma'am. One day you'll find yourself in trouble and needing a cop.
You certainly got away with the dames, Phelps.
Give it a rest, Bukowski.
Let's see what the patrons have to say.
If olive oil comes from olives, where does baby oil come from?
Wrinkled was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a list of dark red Lincoln Continentals.
Just a moment. This is going to be quite a list, Detective.
Cross-check for registered addresses. Top of the pile, anything from the downtown area. Around Bunker Hill.
One moment. Fred Murray, 120 South Olive Street, between 1st and 2nd Street. Harris Jones, number 1 Dillon Lane. William Shelton of 738 West Temple Street. That's all for downtown. You got that, Detective?
Thank you.
Might call for some legwork, but it's better than nothing.
A witness overheard an argument.
Lester and Lorna. There's nothing like airing your dirty laundry in public, is there?
Why was Lorna Patterson in such a hurry to leave? What is going on here?
Lorna was pretty upset, so Leroy took her home. Lorna and Leroy are close. They've been talking about opening a new bar.
Leroy.
Leroy Sabo, the owner.
How long have Lorna and Leroy been talking about this new bar?
Who knows? I just served the drinks.
Bartenders hear all sorts of things. Are you going to tell me, or do we have to start playing rough?
When Lester was drinking, he treated Lorna like dirt. He gambled away all their money. Lorna pitched Leroy about the bar. I don't know how interested he is.
Is Leroy doing well?
Hell no. The only thing keeping this place afloat are the poker games.
Thanks for your help, Lynch. I'm going to need you to sign a statement with the patrolman.
Sure, no problem.
You get anything out of the regulars?
They weren't giving too much away. They liked watching Lester and Lorna go a few rounds every other day. And Lester was a fan of the love tap.
If olive oil comes from olives, where does baby oil come from?
Turn left up ahead.
So the wife was there when it happened, but then left the scene.
Next right.
You're right. That's pretty unusual behavior.
She could be in shock. I saw some people do some strange things in the war after their buddies got hurt.
Maybe. Maybe she doesn't give a fuck. According to the patrons, her old man was a piece of work.
You don't think...
Take the next left. Phelps, the guy was run over. So it worked out well for this broad. So what? Maybe she deserved to catch a break. Who knows?
God damn idiot!
Yes? Hello?
Mrs. Patterson,
Is this about my husband?
We're investigating the incident, ma'am.
I see. Come in, won't you?
Can you tell me what happened?
What's to tell? He got hit by a car and now he's dead.
You don't appear to be too upset about the fact.
Lester and I met on a furlough in '44. We got married that weekend. People don't understand it now, but that happened a lot back then.
I see. So you probably did well to stick it out this long.
What's that supposed to mean, mister? I think it's about time you left. I have someone here,
I
and
beg your pardon? You're gonna have to run that one by us again, sister.
It's okay, Lorna. I'm Leroy Sabo.
Well, well. Nice to see you're comforting the grieving widow, Mr. Sabo.
All right, wise guy. Do you have any intelligent questions you would like me to answer?
You can confirm Mrs. Patterson's story.
Lester lost at cards. He was kind of hard to control when he lost his temper. He turned without looking and walked right out in front of the car. It wasn't good.
What's your relationship with Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Sabo?
We're friends. Good friends.
You expect me to believe that?
Look, I was filing for divorce. Mental cruelty. Lester could be a mean son of a bitch.
And Lester knew about that?
No, I hadn't told him.
Well, hasn't this worked out well for the two of you? I feel almost bad for busting in on this little rendezvous.
How did the car come to hit Lester?
He walked straight into the path of an oncoming car.
You expect me to believe that, Lorna? It's all very convenient.
Gambling for Lester was like the needle for a hophead. He was yelling at me. He was yelling at the whole world. I kind of felt sorry for the driver. Poor guy had no chance.
You were arguing in the bar and on the sidewalk?
We were always arguing. So what?
Admit it, you were baiting him, pushing his buttons. We can easily get the full story from the regulars in the bar.
All right. Lester was playing cards out back. He lost, of course, and wanted back in. He suggested I earn the money on my back to get a mistake. That was the proposition he was putting to his so-called buddies. So maybe I was a little angrier than usual. Let's just say I took exception to his idea.
The bartender said that you and Leroy were planning to go into business together. Can you explain how you'll get the money to do that?
I have a little money saved away.
You're being economical with the truth, Lorna.
You want to back that up, little man? You really don't have any idea, do you? You're making a royal fool of yourself here.
You and Mr. Sabo have an interesting day.
I'm sure we will, officer. Now, if you could both just leave.
We're leaving, ma'am. Sorry for your loss. I can see what a tough time you're having with all this.
Operator, message for KGPL. Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Just one detective from the coroner. Message reads, Phelps, see me at Central Morgue immediately. Results of the Pattison autopsy.
Thanks, ma'am.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed?
Officer needs help, 103 and D.
We can put the driver in front of a judge in less than a week.
You'd be making a big mistake.
Run that by me again?
The victim was dead before the car hit him. 2 puncture wounds to the right side of the thorax. Second puncture reached his heart.
You're kidding me.
Been doing this job 23 years, son. No one's ever laughed at one of my jokes.
He was stabbed to death?
Long, sharp knife, length of a bayonet.
We found a knife in the alleyway.
Where is it now? Was it bagged?
By Patrolman Kaplan.
Perfect. I'll get you a definite match.
Jesus, we got him. Murder 1. We were right there and they tried to stare us down. Now they'll both get the gas chamber. We have the knife, we have the coroner's report, and I bet we could roll Sabo as a witness. Let's bring her in.
You know the way. You can drive.
Where are we going?
Spoken to the coroner, Mrs. Pattison. He confirmed your husband's cause of death. We'd like you to come downtown and answer some questions.
It wasn't me. It was Leroy's idea. Leroy stabbed him. I had nothing to do with it.
Where is Leroy now?
He's in the bedroom.
You're very good, Lorna.
Put the gun down, Leroy. If you do something stupid now, you don't stand a chance in front of the grand jury.
Nice of you to give me up, sweetheart. All that whispering in my ear, telling me how he had to get rid of him, how good it could be, all the money we could claim, all that planning, how to get him into the street, how to make it look like an accident.
For God's sake,
you had
Leroy,
all
shut
the
up.
bases covered, baby.
I have nothing to do
You
with it.
You think I'm gonna fry for you,
He's
Lorna?
a crazy man. Shoot him. Shoot him, for God's sake.
It's too late, Sabo. Sabo, stop or I will shoot!
Oh, brother.
Now, are we gonna make a bargain or what?
Put the weapon down now!
On your
your own, goddammit!
Help me!
You look spooked, Phelps. I thought you'd been under fire before.
It never gets any easier, Bukowski.
You know what bugs me? Someone still hit that guy and didn't stop. As soon as the address on that red Lincoln comes through, I'll send a prowl car to bring the driver in.
So, I give you a hit and run. You bring me back fraud, conspiracy, and first-degree murder. This is how a good detective operates, Phelps. You take nothing at face value. You keep digging and asking questions until you get to the truth. You got some sharp elbows on you, detective. I like that. Keep up the good work.
Phelps, Bukowski. Beat cop says he located a green Kaiser Fraser from the hot sheet. Address is 6 West 2nd Street. Get over there, see what you can find out. Go on. Sorry to inconvenience you.
We're on it, Captain. I swear the more bent cars we bring in, the longer the hot sheet gets.
It pays the rent, though. Keeps Mrs. Phelps in the manner to which she's accustomed.
I'm not sure she'd agree with you.
Passionate, romantic type like you, Cole? I don't believe it.
You're a reckless bad person.
Take it easy. They're calling her the Dahlia now. Wonder what Veronica Lake makes of that one.
What a case. You hear whether they're making any progress?
Well, Captain Donnelly seems to think they have it all wrapped up. Brown and Green are sweating this Manley character. I heard it'll be in front of a grand jury by next week.
Careful! Keep going straight.
Poor thing. Terrible enough being murdered like that without having her death strewn all over the front pages.
That's the car, Cole. Just pulling out of the drive. Get him. Remember, we need him healthy enough to answer questions.
1247, Detective Phelps, requesting immediate backup in pursuit of a stolen green Kaiser Fraser from 6 West 2nd Street.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
All right. Maybe I was a couple miles over the speed limit.
Get bracelets
Out
on
of the
it,
car
Phelps.
now!
I'll call it in.
Show me your hands!
Why did you run from us? I saw a big car in my rearview mirror with two tough guys bearing down on me. What would you do?
What's your name?
Cliff Harrison.
You're under arrest.
For what? What are you talking about?
Nice try. I'm talking about the car being stolen.
You're out of your mind. I bought the car, and I've got the paperwork to prove it.
Looks like we'll have some questions for the people at Coombs Automotive. You purchased this car from Coombs Automotive Company?
Yeah, that's right.
The car is on our list as stolen. We have you cold. It's time to come clean.
You're crazy. I paid good money for this car.
You have a criminal record, Mr. Harrison?
No, nothing like that.
You expect us to believe you.
Is that so much to ask?
Who did you deal with at Coombs Automotive?
The owner, Richard Coombs.
And he made out the bill of sale personally?
Of course he did. He kept a facsimile for his records. Check with him.
You could make this easy on yourself, Harrison.
How? I haven't done anything wrong, and you know it.
Sure, don't stop now, pal. Keeping stum just makes us like you more for this.
Bag his possessions as evidence and have him arraigned for grand theft auto.
Right, Detective.
Do you know who my father is?
We need to get to Coombs Auto and check out Harrison's story.
You know what? I think he's telling the truth.
Some of the most convincing people you will ever listen to are born liars. Usually they're called politicians.
The paperwork all looked above board, and he seemed like a clean-cut kid.
Uh-huh. You know, this isn't a tank, Phelps. Uh-huh. Well, I get it now. You see some kid who's basically you 5 years ago and assume he's got to be innocent.
I'm more than happy to be proved wrong.
Hey, if he'd been black or Hispanic, you'd be singing a different tune. You spout all this communist crap about treating everybody the same, but it only works one way.
I'm not sure that's communism, Stefan.
Oh, God, please. Not another history lesson from the man who single-handedly won the war.
Straight through the next intersection.
Are you finished?
Yes. I feel much better now. We'll shake down the car dealer and take it from there. Unless his daddy plays golf with yours, of course. In which case, we'll give him a firm gentleman's handshake and be on our way. Straight through at the next junction.
See? I knew you weren't finished.
Not another step. I have got a Buick Century sedan that would be absolutely perfect for you.
Detective Phelps, LAPD, are you the owner?
That's right. Richard Coombs at your service. You looking to trade in a black and white, boys?
Mr. Coombs, we're investigating an auto theft. A man by the name of Cliff Harrison claims he bought the car here.
Well, some people would say that my cars are a steal. That's a joke, son.
Very amusing, Mr. Coombs.
I remember Harrison. It was a green two-tone Kaiser Frazer, if I remember right.
Do you have the bill of sale?
It's in my office. Walk this way. That's a joke, too, son.
Phelps, you mind if I shoot this guy? He's getting on my nerves.
Here it is. Got the original pink slip there, too.
Gene Archer, 146 North Fremont Avenue.
Harrison's purchase receipt was legit, at least. We have a couple of questions.
All right, fellas. Shoot.
Can you tell us how you came to buy the car?
Girl just wandered in right off the street.
Nothing unusual about the car.
Not really my usual type of vehicle. The price was certainly right, though. Nice girl, but about as sharp as a bag of wet mice.
Did you pay with check or cash?
A check. She wanted it made out to cash, but I insisted. Man has to watch his cash flow.
What name?
I made it out to Gene Archer on the Bank of Arcadia.
Can you describe this Gene Archer?
Brunette, maybe 25, 26. Little on the plump side, but not bone ugly.
What was your impression of her?
Kind of harried and harassed, in a hurry to go somewhere, but no place to go. You get to know the type.
Do you know anything about the company that prints these pink slips?
Nope. Should I? It isn't exactly my business.
It says Marquee Printing. You've never heard of them?
Marquee. Sure. They do all the government red tape. You'll find the place down on Aliso Street near San Pedro.
When exactly did you hand over the check, Mr. Coombs?
Close of play on Friday.
So with the banks closed over the weekend,
I might be able to stop payment.
this was all above board.
Yes, of course it was.
did this look legitimate to you, Coombs?
I'm in used cars, son, not bearer bonds. In my business, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Now don't come on all high and mighty with me if you want my help.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Coombs. We need to continue the investigation.
Hope you sort out your problem with Mr. Harrison. Go easy on him, son. Boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball. He's built too low. The fastballs fly over his head.
Let me shoot this guy, please.
You have a pleasant day, Mr. Coombs.
Well, Harrison might be off the hook, but we can still run an APB on Gene Archer. Get on the horn and call it in.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Requesting an APB on Gene Archer, age approximately 25, on suspicion of Grand Theft Auto.
I'll relay the information.
Messages, please.
A James Velasco is being held at Central Station on suspicion of GTA. Possible link to the Harrison case. They're waiting on you to conduct the interview.
Thanks for your help.
Heavens!
Here's a chicken and egg question for you. Do you think you have to be an asshole to sell cars? Or that selling cars turns you into an asshole?
You've got it in for everyone today, haven't you?
I've always got it in for car salesmen. Doesn't matter what day it is. And why do they always think they're comedians when they're about as funny as a heart attack?
Maybe the more annoying they are, the quicker you sign on the dotted line, just to get the hell out of there.
Any Central unit of 415, possible mental case at 7th and Flower, unit to handle code 3, identified.
Are you blind?
Units in the vicinity.
Detectives, Velasco is prepped and ready in 2. Another stolen car with legit papers.
Thanks.
You can drive.
Do we know where we're going?
Fuck you!
I've been in this job 20 years. Crummy bat.
James Velasco?
I want a lawyer. It's my car, and I got the proof right here. Take a look for yourself.
The paper is real enough, Belasco, but the car isn't yours. This pink slip is a forgery. Where were you taking the car, James?
Blow it off, greenhorn. You'll get nothing from me.
You're a two-time loser. If you don't give me something, I'm gonna ask the DA for the maximum. You're looking at 10 years, Belasco. Kiss your youth goodbye.
I want a deal.
Keep talking and we'll see what sort of deal you're worth.
My job is to drive the cars out of state. Nevada, Arizona, sometimes New Mexico. With the paperwork they provide, it's normally a breeze.
Does the name Jean Archer mean anything to you?
Nope. Never heard of her.
You want my partner here to convince you that you do know her?
I'm giving you the straight dope. I don't know no Jean Archer.
What happens to the cars once they cross over the state lines?
I don't know. I just deliver them.
Give me something, Belasco, or I'll take you back to the cells and tell the whole station you're a child molester. How long do you think you'll last?
Okay, I hear you. The cars get sold in Chicago or back east. Sometimes I bring back cars coming the other way.
Where do you pick up the cars, Belasco?
Warehouses. Mainly in East downtown.
Come on, Belasco. You must have an address.
That's not the way they work. They keep moving around, never the same address twice.
You had a chance to cooperate, Belasco. See you in 10 years when you get out.
You're Phelps, right? You had Cliff Harrison booked for GTA.
Yes, I am. Look, can we...
Ray Pinker, I'm with Technical Services. Listen, he had a pink slip for the car. I've just finished looking it over, and it's real.
Yes, we know that.
Absolutely. There's only one company that prints pink slips in California, the Marquee Printing Company. They've confirmed that the numbers are legitimate.
You've checked them out?
Sure. They're on Aliso Street, near the corner of San Pedro. The guy I spoke to was Lightfall, Gordon Lightfall. Here, I wrote it down.
Thanks, Ray. This is a great lead. We'll get down there as soon as we can.
Phelps, your GTA suspect, Jean Archer, spotted by a patrolman. Western Union office, 253 South Hill. Less than a minute away down the street if you run. Go! She won't hang around.